Sound waves reaching the microphone are changed into impulses of electric current.
No need to worry about your pre-recorded music tapes being accidentally erased. It can't happen.
When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Earth from a bird's eye view. You should grow feathers and see this too. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. When you want to get off the darkest ground, but gravity pulls you straight down. Clear sky. I'm the storm that meets the moon. I'm the silent when I'm more. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to RSC. And tonight we are going to have an interesting matchup for the first evening. But of course, I am Vino here in the casting booth, joined by Kingsman's Gas for the first series of tonight.
Yeah, thank you, Vino. We're in the highest draftable tier of Master, where we see a matchup of Infinity versus Leo, a Leo team that has had a complete roster rebuild in recent times. And an Infinity side that has been performing, let's say, pretty averagely, but in the last week found themselves 2 wins and are looking to pick up a bit of form here in the run-in towards the end of the season.
Yeah, a bit of a run indeed for them. They're currently, Infinity is currently 5th on the leaderboard, whilst Leo is down at 8th. And it's you know, still doable. It's week 6 of RSC, and a lot is up for grabs for both teams. So, you want to start with predictions then, or should we go with stats first? Actually, we have the stats up already, and and it went.
Player stats we get instead. Obviously, 5th and 8th, only 1 win gap will separate them. But onto player stats. Obviously, normally we've seen a main roster of NC, Bean, and Mimical this season for Infinity, but NC will not be showing tonight. He is completely off the roster, so it will be Bean, Mimical, and Jerku. Obviously, Jerku got a high win percentage since joining this Infinity roster, so it might be something leading to success. Lutix, Faxon, and Mike are the roster that stick around with each other tonight, not having the greatest run of form, but since their signing of Mike, things do seem to be going on the up.
Thank you so much, Kingsman, for the just introduction of the players of each team. What I've also noticed is Leo has not had a sub yet, which is interesting. A 3-man roster over there. But here is your current standings for the Masters. Droger is currently number 1, way up at the moment. Nox followed up by in 2nd, and then Abyss at 3rd. That's the top 3 for the Master standings in week 6. Gladiators have quite a bit to work for at the moment at the bottom, but other than that, every other roster seems to be going on the up. We've also witnessed quite some miraculous things over for the Masters, but let's go over through the predictions then. Kingsman, let's start with you.
Right, obviously, I can't put down Infinity's good run of form at the minute. Obviously, picking up from an average start to the season and trying to push towards that top 3. So I'm going to back them with a 3-1 win on this back instance. And what do you think, Vino? Have you gone the same as me, or have you taken a different route?
As much as I would have loved to agree with you, Kingsman's Gas, I am feeling a bit lucky today. So I'm going with a 3-1 win for Leo. Of course, as you mentioned, Mike has, ever since being signed by Leo, has been doing a real good job for the team. So I'm very excited to see what he's able to perform, how he's going to perform during this series, and what type of shows he's able to put up for us. And of course, with the captain over at Phoenix not being able to tag along, it's going to be a big task for upcoming players. But are we ready on the field to send them into the arena, Kingsman Scouts, for the first game of this evening?
I say we are. We're going to see the impact of this for both of these teams. Obviously, as you said, Infinity missing their captain tonight, and potentially first time they've played this roster. And Leo, well, they've made a new signing recently, but they're sticking to the same old 3 as we go underway here in game number 1. And well, big things expected from both sides here.
Yeah, a lot of big things expected, especially from the Phoenix side. Their captain's not around to play. A lot of weights on their shoulders, and already a good save by Faxon keeps it away. The ball slowly inching towards the blue net. That's a mistouch by Mimico, but Mike completely misses it. Lutix able to scramble around with the ball though. Jerku finds Mimico upfield. A good follow-up, a double touch, but Mike is there preventing it from going further.
Yeah, well, high tempo start already for both teams as Faxon makes his second save, already showing what a wall he's going to be in defense this series. And well, a lot of pressure coming from Infinity here as Mimical looks to push it forward. We talked about they needed to come out strong, obviously not having NC, and well, they're certainly doing that as Jerku looks to get the pass middle, just going to roll past an empty net. And well, a minute has gone by, and well, a lot of very good plays, Vino, but also a lot of sloppy plays.
Sloppy plays indeed. Look at that defense. Bean got a slight touch into the corner. Faxon just realizes the situation, just sends one in and over the top of Mimical. And it's 1-0 for Leo already. High tempo off the start, as you mentioned earlier before, but a bit sloppy on both sides. Both teams are really knowing what to do with the ball at the moment. Both teams scrambling to do something. Mimico nearly sent one through, but Faxon, again, just ready for the offense.
Yeah, and well, I did say at the start he's going to be a bit of a wall in this series, but we're going to see what Infinity can throw at him with Mimical now looking to find a shot on goal, but Mike is going to be there to clear it up, and Leo not really looking tested on the defense yet. They've made all saves very comfortably, and they've only had one shot. It's found its way into the net, but we're going to see now what Lutix can do now on the defense. He clears it over one, and can Mimical get beaten by Mike? No, he can't. There's an opportunity comes out for Infinity now, but Lutix going to clear it away. And well, Infinity here, they definitely need to start putting a bit more pressure on this Leo defense.
There's been a lot of experimental plays as well with physical things being added, as you saw Jerku and Bean looking for demos. Oh, that's a really clean air dribble by Lutix, but the defense of Jerku is just in the way. And now again, the ball back in the blue half, looking to inch its way back to the net again, but no, the ball going back into their own side. It's a game of ping pong at the moment, sent half to half. Lutix now sending one up high. Mimico can get the save. A demo comes up from Jerku as well. Mike with a shot on target, but Bean is there preventing it from going any further in as Lutix was challenge Bean to the ball. That's a great shot, and it's open on the side of Leo. We have a tie game.
Yeah, we do, and it's a 50, and God knows where the communication is, because Faxon's caught upfield, and Mike is nowhere to be seen on the defense. Jerku's not complaining though. Infinity finally find the net on their 6th shot here but we're going to see which team can respond the fastest. Now it's Faxon, another double commit. A lot of scrappy double commits coming out from both teams here, as Faxon looks to put it onto the backboard, very well coordinated between him and Mike. And now Leo looking to restore something forward, but Mimical 1v1, can he get the double? No, he can't, but Bean can get the shot. Very quick turnaround for Infinity. They take the lead 2-1.
Infinity already finding the grips together. Mimical just getting the double touch off the backboard, but couldn't really finish it off. Bean was there to follow up very closely as well. Quick plays by the team, and they find themselves in the lead with more than 1 minute left on the clock. They might find a third, but that was a misplay by Bean. Very unfortunate for Lutix. Couldn't really do much there. Faxon does get a save, nearly a bit dangerous there as Mike finds his way with the ball. Does go for a play, looking for an air, but will he finish it? No, Bean was in the way, but both Mimico and Bean jumped for it, but no punishments have been put up on the players yet. Mike tried to pinch it, but again, just left a bit awkward. And Leo currently, they're just playing a bit more passive. They want to see what they're able to do, but at the same time, they know how aggressive Infinity is. As I speak, a demo by Mimico and a bump leads to Jerku finding a third for the team.
Yeah, Mimical got rid of the wall and he got rid of the thing holding it together. Faxon and Mike removed. It's an open net, and well, Jerku surely didn't miss those. And no, he didn't. As you said earlier, they're finding their grip now. A goal is required for Leo. Here's Lutix with a fake reset. Bean once again not punished on the double commit from the Leo players. My, there's a lack of punishment going on here. Oh, never mind. Cast a curse strikes again.
Indeed, Kingsman. We gotta love to see it once a while. We love to see the Caster's curse arrive. The first punishment didn't really go through, but this was a bit harsher. That was just open. The side of Infinity not seen anywhere to protect their net. Probably because you cursed them, but hey, it is what it is. It's a game of Rocket League. One goal separates them from an overtime. As a beautiful drop by Faxon, not followed up through by Lutix.
I mean, yes, I cursed it for the content, obviously. The closer the games, the more exciting they are for us and obviously everyone watching. But now we're going to see Mike. He takes control and there's 20 seconds left. He said only one goal. Good bump. It allows Leo on the prowl again. Ball is floating above the net. Mimical does get a touch though to clear it out. Now as Mike looks for it middle's not going to get there. Bean clears it away. Now Jerku well beats one and that's open. Leo have thrown everything at them and it's going to be off the bar and it's going to be dead. Infinity hold on for the 3-2 win in game one.
A very interesting first game straight off the bat. Leo first found them in the lead, then it was a tie, and then found themselves inching for an equalizer. But then that went a bit too far, and the whole game has just been chaotic. But it is Infinity that find themselves in the first series lead. Well, this series lead at least. We've seen physical plays as well. Kingsman's Gas, we've seen both teams go at it. And an unfortunate loss of connection for Lutix. A lot of things happening. I'm a bit unsure what's happening here. A lot of chaos. Oh, Lutix back.
Yeah.
Ping issues for Joker, maybe? Who knows?
Who knows? And one thing I will say about this game is both sides lacked punishment. Both of them made very critical mistakes that I think better teams in the league would be punishing. The more successful top 3 teams would punish for every single time, but they're not finding the rhythm, either of these teams, to be able to make that punishment, to be able to say to them, you've made that mistake, we're going to take the goal for it. But a lot of very, very open-ended plays from both sides, and well, game number 2 hopes to prove me wrong here and hopes to prove a very, very good game.
Straight off the kickoff, we already have a lot of pressure on the side of Infinity, but it's instantly sent back by the team. That's an open net. Jerku can't finish it, but Bean is there. It's a lot of chaotic moments in front of net. But again, Leo just not able to just read the plays from Infinity.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it's very awkward. I think they expected Jerku to get that on first time, but as you mentioned, he might be having a bit of issue with ping, so it could be there. But Faxon, a lot of scrappy gameplay here, a lot of mistakes. They wouldn't want to be making a Faxon 2 for 2.
Oh wow.
That well,
okay.
I think that defines what I've been on about by now. I don't think that clip speaks for itself.
That clip does speak for itself. It just speaks volumes, though no words have been said at all by the players. The action sure did prove something. Mike, now on the ball, gets it over Jerku, but he reverses into position as Faxon puts it up the corner. Mimiko with the follow, that's straight to the middle. Mike is there, taking hold of the possession, looking to pass it out to the middle. Can't get it by Bean. Faxon though does get it to the middle, but Mimiko was there, prepared. Jerku tries to drop it down into the corner instead. Mimiko off the backboard, but no one's there. Mike looking to make a play, but again, Jerku's just too fast onto the ball, and the harassment by this player is just immense on Leo. It's just, they can't get by him.
Yeah, no, they can't. One thing also we didn't talk about, there might be some stream nerves from both these players, but a shot on, not going to be testing Bean in the net. But as I was saying, a could be potential stream nerves, obviously, with how pressured it is, and well, Mimical slotting that, but as far away as you possibly could from any other defender. Good beat from Bean, and he slots it as far away from Lucas as he could. What a shot from Mimical. It placed absolutely perfectly. Top right corner and Infinity, well, they've taken a 2-0 lead here. And Leo, they need an answer soon. Are they going to get one in the name of Faxon? No, they aren't, and no more pressure put on the Infinity defense.
Indeed, a lot of pressure coming out. Ground pinch by Bean nearly snuck one by, but that's a mistouch again from Mimiko, I believe. No, it wasn't, but that's a brilliant shot by Lutix though, straight into the back of the net. 3 minutes left. Mike is closing the gap. Sorry, Lutix is closing the gap.
Well, I mean, Mike did make the play, so I mean, he does deserve his credit, and it was a lovely pass in field and a lovely slot from Lutix. This is what I wanted to see from this Leo side. I know how good these 3 players are. I've been talking to all of them myself, and I know what they can do on a good day. And there's just some very, very interesting plays being made from both sides. As Lutix now, can he put it middle? He cannot return the favour yet, but Faxon is going to beat Mimical, leaving the ball just hanging in the off-field. It's missed by Jerku, and it's a demo here. Could this open it for Mike to equalise? He's missed the net completely. How big of a mistake could that be? Could it cost them the game here, and could it cost them even momentum?
It might be very interesting to see how this game unfolds, but as we spoke as well, Jerku just having a misplay there as well as Mimiko bumped them out of the way. That's a good clear though. Mimiko now to the middle. Jerku can't read the ball at the moment. Lutix, it's a small touch. Bean with a small shot into the hands of Faxon now. Straight over one, not Jerku. That's back into the middle. Bean finds him off the side. No boost to play with, tries to send it to the middle. Tries to bait one out. That's a shot on target, but that was a bit wide. Faxon does send it out. Mike out to the middle. Lutix is there, waiting. That's the backboard. Is someone there? No, Jerku sends it over Faxon. As Jerku again tries for the middle, but no one is there to follow it up. A bit too hesitant from both sides here to make a play, but that's what happens when you have a stream on.
Yeah, it is. And well, one thing I will say I do like, both these teams are giving it everything, end-to-end football and Rocket League even. And well, it's really good to see. They're giving it their all. They want this. They know how crucial this is for the standings as well. Infinity, they haven't played their second series this week, and this is Leo's second. So they want to end on a high. They obviously swept Gladiators beforehand, but they want more. They're hungry for more here. As Faxon looks to push a quick shot from Mimical though. Gonna go over the crossbar. Is now Bean looks to slice it on the court off the ceiling. And now we're going to see Leo on defense, but really, they want to be on the other side of the field.
On the other side of the field, they find themselves now. Faxon went for the shot, but saved by Mimico. Another shot by Mike, a bit too high. Now they find themselves on the defense, straight back on the counter offense though. Oh, Faxon nearly found it behind the net, but couldn't really force it through. Mike can't challenge two people. Mimico, great send. Joku tries to extend it, but can't really do much. Lutix waiting for what Faxon will do. Great block by Mimico. Mike, misplay there, sends it to the corner with a few seconds left on the clock. It is Leo on the offense. The clock is ticking down. Mimico is just playing with his prey. Faxon sends it up high. Joku off the ceiling. That is still alive, but now it drops down. Joku did it for them as well. Bean was the one who shot it down, but it's Infinity that finds themselves even further in the lead.
Yeah, it is, and well, goals were all scored very early on, but Leo gave it their all in this game, and well, it really showed, but they just missed. I think I counted 2 very, very golden chances. One missed by Mike, and I think Faxon was really awkward, but just slides off the post. You think that's a centimetre to the left. It goes in, and the game dynamic has changed completely.
Definitely. It's a bit tighter, but at the same time, we've been just seeing like mishaps from Leo's side. We've also seen from Infinity where there's been moments where Mimico was a bit impatient with his own teammates, bumping out Jericho because they made a misplay just to try and get the possession back, which might cost them a game or two. But again, the only hopes for Leo now is a draw if they want to stay alive in the series.
Yeah, well, it is. And oh, my Rocket League's decided to give up on me. That happens very, very often, sadly, for some reason. But who knows? I believe you guys are underway in game number 3. So, well, Vino, it seems to be all on to you.
Well, you've left me in an awkward spot there, Kingsman's Gas, but the game is also paused for some reason. There it is. There was a long wait before the kickoff, but we're straight into game number 3 of this series, as it's a great kickoff by Infinity, stand back by Leo though, as Joko tries to extend the attack, but can't really do much. A bump out by Lutix, but that does nothing for the team at the moment, as Bean sends one up high, but Lutix is there now. Joku tries to extend the play. Mimico is there with a shot a bit wide. Faxon doesn't have to worry about that shot for now. Bean is there. Joku waiting for the opposition's move, but can't really do much there either, as Bean with a beautiful send does find a goal for Infinity.
Yeah, that's what you need in the highest tier, is pops like that. Mike was never reaching that. We expected a touch to the side, but absolutely perfect from Bean to find the top corner. Infinity strike early again. They love holding an early lead, as Jerku gets a good 50 now. Mimical looks to push it middle. Is there anyone else there? No, Mike is going to beat out Bean and Lutix. Let's see what Lutix can do. Only pops it onto the backboard, but well read by Lutix. And well, Infinity's last 3 goals have all come in the first minute 30 of the games. So I think they're going to need to get another goal quickly if they're going to want to try and keep up their hopes for this game. But you never know, because Leo have shown a lot in the last 2 games.
Yeah, the team itself has shown a lot, but at the same time they've shown so much mishaps as well. Not only like great plays and team play attempts of bombs and passing plays, they've also shown their weaknesses, and that's what Infinity is currently eating out of. They know that they're quite weak in the defense, they know that they overcommit, and that's what they're trying to punish them for. They're trying to bait it out, they try to just pick them apart one by one, and so far it's working great for Infinity, but at the moment they're the ones who's finding themselves in defense.
Yeah, they are, and it's relentless from this Leo roster. It's a demo attempt. Oh, that's a very poor pass from Faxon. He's expecting Mike to be, I think, a bit further back, and it's a mistake. Oh, was he bumped? Might have been. But I from where I looked, it looked a very, very misplaced pass from Faxon that's rolled right past Mike. Might be wrong, it might be just how I've seen it, But wow, the passing plays are massive when they work out, but when they don't, it's just going to be like a dagger, and it's really shown there for the Leo side.
I believe it was a pass by Faxon, but it was more that Mike could not retrieve the pass from Faxon. And again, that was an opportunity. Wasted yet again though by Faxon. It would have been beautiful. It was straight on, but again, Lutix now with a bomb play, but Mimiko with a miraculous save keeps it away from danger as Joku extends the opposition as well, and whoa! Lutix returns the save favor.
Shame it can't be followed up. Lutix is having a hell of a game. What a save from him originally, but Faxon panicking again and clears it straight into the path of Bean. Infinity, they haven't had to do much special here. I think that shot was probably their best attempt, and Lutix pulled out a masterclass of a save. But now Faxon, he's put it. Surely now, it's not Faxon's night. I don't think he's having a bit of a mishap. But you know what? It's only one game. I'm sure he'll want to regain and take game number 4. But I almost feel bad.
Well, you almost feel bad. I'm just speechless at this point. There's been so many opportunities for the team to work together, to take their chances, and every opportunity has just been, it seems like it's been wasted. Again, that could have been a beautiful shot by Faxon, but a bit too soft for the liking of the player. Beautiful pop by Mimiko as well. Nearly sent it off. Now, Joku does beat to the ball, I believe it was. Yeah, a great ground pinch as well, but Bean, that's very high though. Faxon nearly read it though.
Yeah, and well, one thing I think this game has definitely had is a lot of mishaps from both sides. But I think the mishaps of Leo is the failure of why they're not able to punish this Infinity side. Is they give them so much space by making their own mistakes. But they think like that bump has just sent Lutix flying. But can Faxon make up for it? The bump attempt, and there's a mistake. I think from Mimiko, I think the other defender was Jerko. I think he might have had that. But Mimiko dives in panic. And maybe he wouldn't have. Maybe that's my judgment. But well placed from Faxon, to be fair. And it pulls one back. It's still possible for this Leo side with 48 seconds left.
Indeed. As well, something you missed out was Lutix fake demo. Somehow that is a thing. Wanted to go for the demo, wanted to go for the bomb on Joku, but then just pulls away, scaring Joku a bit, made him jump, and probably made Mimiko panic.
Yeah, that probably would be, but 20 seconds left now, and time is slowly ticking away, and Infinity are 15 seconds away from getting the win, and fake demo there. Bean absolutely read it perfectly. Lutix quick shot. Mimiko won't save that. 11 seconds left. I've been counting down the seconds till I just need Leo to get one game. But a brilliant bump from Mike actually sends Mimiko away. What a shot by Lutix as well. And well, 11 seconds left, Vino. I'll be counting every second down.
Same here. It's going to be an interesting last few moments of the game. Leo has been looking very alive, but it is not done with the possession at the moment. It's currently with Infinity, Mike, 95 Faxon, and that's a beautiful block by Joku, and that concludes game number 3. Infinity find themselves in a win here for the series.
They do. No matter the outcome of game number 4, they will be picking up a W for themselves. 3 straight wins, and it's a very good showing from them today. And well, I'm talking like the series is over. We've still got another game on here. But yeah, well, game 3, as you said, about halfway through, Vino, a lot of wasted opportunities for Leo, more than good shots from Infinity. Infinity put together well, but all they had to do was wait for a Leo mistake, and it seemed to fall ahead of them. If Leo can fix the cracks in their gameplay, they would have won this, I think, with about a 2-3 goal lead.
Indeed. And it's going to be a last scramble for a win here for the Leo side to at least end the day off with a 3-1 loss instead of a 4-0. Well, it would be very unfortunate for them to see. But so far, Infinity looking very confident, looking very good. But at the same time, it wasn't just Leo that made some mistakes during that previous game. It was Infinity as well. There was a ground pitch by Beam, for example, that sent it all the way back to their own half. So let's see what Game 4 has to offer.
Hopefully Game 4 offers no mistakes and absolutely ruthless gameplay from both sides, but obviously that's my optimistic side. So we know there's very slow odds of that happening, and I'm already speechless, and we're 17 seconds in.
You could probably guess by my reaction during that whole play that I'm not amazed by what I just saw. That's a brilliant clear though, made up for the little mistake they had in front of the orange net, or red net in this case. Bean, a little pinch with Lutix, sends it straight back to the blue half, with beautiful demo as well. Mimico can't get it by Vax, and Bean does avoid it from dropping to the middle. Beautiful pass, but Jericho cuts it short. And a good bounce as well, working in favor for the Infinity side, but Lutix again sending it up. Mike into the middle, Vaxen is there, sends it up a bit too wide. A demo of Vaxen as well to extend a little bit of pressure. Mimico had a little race, can't really finish it up. But yet again, it is going back and forth.
Yeah, and a double commit from Leo almost opens up their defense, and now we're going to see very good beat from Lutix to give a bit of pressure. I think. Yeah, that almost went in. Bean doing loads, just needed to hit the ball back to his corner, really, and a massive bump actually from Mimical. Can Mike get there? He can. Very good coverage from him, but Flaxen is going to end up in his way, and Lutix now, he's on his own. Let's see what he can do. 50 boost in the tank. He can get bumped. That certainly can happen, but Mike now on the defense is going to be challenged by Mimical. Bean now into the corner, looks for the pass middle. Not going to be Faxon. Beats Jerku, but Jerku clears up on defense, and the game is starting very slowly to get more of those cracks fixed, and we're seeing more pure gameplay of them, what the best of these teams can offer.
Yeah, these two teams are looking way better than what it was in Game 3. Though there were some mistakes that has happened throughout both teams here. An easy goal from Infinity could have been made, but same could be said for Leo. But again, the ball looking to inch its way back up the red half. But currently Mike will send it back into Faxon. Jerku is already up high for the ball. Can't really get it away from the possession of the red team, as Mimico now picking up the scraps, looking to make a flick, can't really do that. Mike, a mistouch, but does get it away from Bean. Lutix with the follow-up, clears it for the team. The ball bounces back to the middle. Faxon was up, that's a good shot, but that will be finished up by Jerku himself.
We talked about mistakes being made, and Jerku dived for it, and he's put it past his own defender. Wow, I'm sure Faxon's not complaining though. It's a 1-0 lead for Leo here. One they have not, a lead they haven't seen since game number 1. So about 12, 13, 14 minutes of gameplay was the last time they saw a lead here. And they're looking to salvage a game as Lutix goes all the way. But Mimical puts it onto the post. A double commit here, very sloppy from Infinity. A shade of what we've seen them this game. But ball goes middle, Jerku. But it's read by Lutix, and now Bean is up. Bean gets it over Mike. The ball drops down, and Faxon gets the save. Infinity, they really want this sweep. They're giving it everything as Jerku finds the ball middle, but Faxon will clear it.
A lot of pressure coming out from the Infinity side now as they're closing in the red team as well. Jerku can't really find a touch, but leaves it for Bean instead. Got caught off by Lutix as Mimico now forced to make a touch. Lutix can't get it by Jerku either. That's a beautiful pop off the side. Great beat by Jerku himself as Bean can't send it into the middle. Mimico does that for him though. No one's up for the grabs though. No one to follow it up. Mike can't really follow up on the ball either. Faxon does send one up high. Into the blue half we go. Jaku does force it into the corner. Tries to pass it into the middle. A bump was forced as well. Bean couldn't get it by the defense either. Bean to make another play. Can't really do much. The pressure's just rapid by the Leo side. They're finding their group. They find it more confident and looking at what we could have seen. Lutix went for the double touch but could not finish it off.
Yeah, no, he couldn't. In 20 seconds, Leo are holding on here. They're looking for more, actually. And well, Faxon's going to find more. What a dunk. Absolutely ruthless play from him. It's going to be Jerku again, the man to mishap. And wow, Faxon, he absolutely doesn't care for it. He wants to secure 2-0 lead. And well, he's going to give Leo the chance of taking at least one game here. Yeah, take one game here for their efforts. And he looks for a clip. He's gonna get it, but B's gonna save it. And Lutix sums up basically what we've seen this series, and it's gonna end 3-1.
3-1 win for Phoenix. Leo found their groove in the final game. At least they got something out of this series. Great pressure from the team as well. I mean, considering what we've seen in the past and the fact that it was still lingering within this game a bit, it's really nice to see that Leo could at least get one win. But congratulations to Infinity as they took the series.
Yeah, no, Infinity took the series. They got my prediction right at least, so that's a positive of this series. So I cannot complain in the slightest. A very scrappy series at that, but what can you say? I'm sure Infinity don't care if every game is a 1-goal game or a 10-goal game. They still walk away with the 3-1 here. And they set themselves up looking to push towards the top 3. Whereas Leo, they don't end their week as they want to with another loss. But it's potentially going to get better for them next week, as we saw, obviously, the best. I think we saw the best of Leo in that game for Vino.
Yeah, indeed. There's still, a lot to work on. I mean, there were so many opportunities from the Leo side that they could have just forced it through, and then the mistakes on their own half as well that could have been fixed. But if they work together as a team, I see them going through very far together. But again, congratulations to Infinity as they close down the series 3-1. Hope for a 4-0 though, probably, as they were looking to be the favorites coming out of that third game. But anyways, that's it for the first series, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be heading to a short little break in a few moments' time. Kingsman's Gas, do you have anything else you want to say before we head to that break?
Well, obviously you've got a rival series up next, and well, I'm sure as much as it won't be high gameplay, you still need to be in here supporting everyone as always. As well, we know the players give it their best, and well, don't be too harsh on the players. I'm sure stream nerves sometimes do get to them, but at the end of the day, it's one series at the end of the day, and well, I'm sure in any other series we see players peak that they might not have tonight. So it is what it is, but it is going to be Infinity come out on top, and we'll see you in about 15 minutes time. Thank you.
vanished into thin air, never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. Never to be seen again. Never to be seen again.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome back to the RSC EU Season 12, Week 6 of League Plays, the second stream of the night. We've already had, thank you so much to Kingsman, Gas, and Vino for heading the first series of the night, a master matchup between Infinity and Leo. That one went 3-1, a little uncharacteristic of Master. It was kind of all over the place, even made Kingsman Gas a little annoyed by the fact that it was so inconsistent, but those things can happen at the best of times for the best of players. Hopefully going down to the rival tier, not a rematch necessarily, but very interesting one on the stream. Should be a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more consistent. And it's myself, Vector, and of course alongside me once again the wonderful Morris Guy. I'm glad to be back in the booth with you again so soon, Morris Guy, and this is an interesting series to be looking at as we go into it.
Yeah, good to be back as well, Vector. It's almost like, we don't cast with each other for a while, and then they feel sorry for us and they put us back to back, one day after the other. So, yeah, it's good to be back in the booth with you. And, yeah, another interesting one. We had a bit of a doozy one yesterday, a series of two halves, and hopefully, I say hopefully, it was entertaining at the end of the day. But, yeah, we got an interesting matchup between these two teams, Onka and Erebos. I mean, it's sort of top of the table versus a team which is in need of a bit of a boost, shall we say, sort of heading in towards the end of the season. And I'm looking forward to it because it's screaming underdog to me. I don't know about you, Vector.
No, I completely agree. I mean, second versus seventh, Onka at the top, the overdog, shall we say, looking to regain some ground upon an utterly dominant Tizoc, currently 11 games clear at the top of the table in rival Ignis. The Panthera Esports side do have both of this week's series in hand, however, with this one on stream being the first. And somewhat coincidentally, it just so happens to be against the very same team that got swept by the champion-elect Tizoc on stream just a couple nights ago. It was the final series, it was the one after us, Morris Guy. We were not present to witness said event, but I did catch the tail end of it, and it was not overly pretty. So the big question for me is, are Erebos capable of preventing the awful embarrassment of being swept live twice in a single week, or is this horrible history likely to repeat itself?
Well, it's a tricky one to call, and I don't want to be giving the caster's curse away too soon, but I mean the stats there, the team stats you saw, it is very much stacked up against Erebos, and across the board, Onka are sitting at the top of the table for a reason. They've got a dominant defense. We're putting over 200 saves so far this season, and looking at the player stats there as well, it's a tough call. But as we saw a couple of nights ago, Rocket League is a mental game, and I think this is where Erebos are going to need to sort of stamp their authority sooner rather than later, because if they allow Onka to push on from the start, it could be an uphill struggle. But if they can get a foot in the door first, then who knows what we got lined up for us.
Hopefully an entertaining one, as I mentioned. As we look at the rival standings, you can clearly see, as I said, Tizoc all the way up at the top, 36 points. Onka have to claw back that ground. It begins here with a hopeful sweep for them. Haven't lost in the last 5 results. They've got a few draws, a couple wins. Erebos on the other side, of course, only 1 win in their last 5, and as we already know, a sweep just a couple nights ago on stream, hoping to avoid that once again. Minus 17 goal difference as well. They're going to be struggling against an Onka side that's very much in form. And from looking at the players in the lobby as well, I don't believe that Erebos are going to be playing their what appeared to be their main roster. We saw the player stats come up there a moment ago, and it appeared that Rubix was on that roster alongside Lucas and Calf. But I see a young racer in the lobby. I don't know if that's for the opposite team. I'm assuming it's not. If they're bringing in an FA sub here, of course, there are only 3 players on the team, so they will need to sign that 4th eventually. This could be another situation we see, like we saw with Dash a couple nights ago, where they're sort of testing them as a proving ground on stream for them to get into that spot, maybe hoping to get onto this team, should they perform well enough. And I think it's what was necessary. They got swept last time, they changed something up. Maybe something as drastic as a player change isn't what they need, unless it's just the fact that Rubix couldn't play tonight. We don't know these individual things behind the scenes without asking them. So it could be any number of reasons for that. But on the other side, I very much expect Onka to continue in their stride, continue the streak that they've got going. They won their last series. They'll be hopeful to do it again and start this week off strong. I'm expecting a 3-1 here. I think Honka could take this. If Erebos can get game 2, game 3, maybe something like that, disrupt Honka's flow. I definitely think Honka's going to start stronger, just because Erebos is going to be a little bit skittish about the fact they're on stream again. The memory is very fresh of being swept. I just expect this to be a difficult series for them. Despite that, I just hope there's going to be a lot of high-flying play.
Well, yeah, and I mean, it's all about throwing the person into the deep end of the swimming pool. I mean, going up against a top team like Honka, fingers crossed young racer picks it up. But I'm going, I miscalled it the other night, and I'm going down the middle on this one because I do see Erebos coming into this one and getting something out of it, but not the victory. So I'm going with 2-2 on this one. But, there's only one way to find out, and I think we need to just let these players get this game underway, and hopefully they will prove that my prediction is firmly correct.
Well, I went for the stalemate last time. Last stream, the first prediction that I made, it was right. And then my second one was wrong when I went off of a draw. So we shall see if my fortunes have changed. We shall see also if Erebos's have switched in what way whatsoever, as we see young racer here. Attempt a musty flick off the sidewall, didn't come to any fruition, and has allowed Sinksy to go for the aerial play. Couple attempted double reset there, I think, but ultimately ineffective, as we still keep pressure here for Honka through the blue corner. Just throwing straight back to young racer here. The FA sub coming in to try and help out Erebos play the better game as Lucas and Kaf link up. Not quite quick enough to get past the Honka defense. We reset again. Just 40 seconds into game 1.
I mean, if anything, this is the perfect start for Erebos. I mean, you don't want to be conceding the early goal, which I nearly put my foot in it. Almost, but not quite. But so far, Erebos are just riding a good early wave of pressure coming in from Honka. And, every second that goes by that they don't concede, will just be a little bit of confidence boost to them, as we see Lucas in the corner trying to put it into the middle, but nothing at the moment. So a minute played, and Erebos are still in it.
And surprisingly, not a single stat on the scoreboard. It is just zeros all over the place. Donut shop right now, as not even the first shot's going to come in for Erebos' sake, but they are keeping it in the red half. It's another chance here for Kaf, comes flying in. Mox is just slightly quicker to the ball. Keep them in a stalemate for now. And races through the corner, but no one to follow up. However, Sinksy with his new Transformer car. I quite like the look of that one, Morris guy, if I get my words right. I'm not sure about you, but the Bumblebee maybe giving Honka a little bit of power here as they are back on offense.
I mean, I'm not a fan of Transformers, so I kind of I don't want to say too much. I mean,
It's just a nice design.
It is a nice design. I'll give them that. But goal celebration. Never mind that. Robin from the left-hand side just punting it over Erebos' last third man there. You can't see who it was, but just pushed a little bit too high up. Easy enough goal, you might say, for Erebos.
For Honka, yeah, the red
For
side.
Honka. I got distracted by the fact I was still thinking about Transformers. And
You've got no time, because Honka have already scored again. The 3-minute mark makes it double for Honka here, but it's Mox to finish it off. Straight off kickoff, in fact. Sinksy with the power of the Bumblebee. Takes it past them. Kaf, and I believe that was young racer there at front post, colliding after the ball split them in two. And a 2-goal deficit already here for Erebos. There's nothing happening in the first 2 minutes, and now suddenly everything is just coming here all at once as Robin looks to get his brace. Young racer just about back in time to prevent the shot straight down the middle for going through. Mox will get beaten out here, however. Let's play to take it back down the field. 60. Can only throw it to Lucas. Can he get it to the back body? Yes, he can, but Robin reads it well. Kaf is there to follow. Young Racer's a little bit too far back, however. A double commit should give them some space. Lucas to pop it back high. Robin's going to miss completely, and the offense did not expect that whatsoever. Counter chance here for Mox. Gets it by 1, but it's going to be awkward to deal with for Young Racer. Sinksy doesn't expect it either. And I think Erebos just about got away with another one there.
Did indeed, and they should be careful. I mean, they're still in this one. One goal can change a Rocket League game, and with just over 2 minutes left to play, they've got to be careful not to do double commits and mistakes like that. But a slightly awkward touch there from Sins. How do you say his name?
Sinksy, I think.
Sinksy.
That's how I say it.
However you say it. Sinksy. Awkward touch. Just put
Weird
pressure
letters.
back onto Honka. And yeah, as you know, they just need to find that little bit of luck. Get that one goal and it can bring us back into it, but they've got to be careful because Honka, we've seen so far, they are dangerous and they've got to keep them at bay.
contested pass here between Robin and Sinksy to get it back down the field. Caught through the corner eventually. The demo opens up some space, but Lucas is on it. Does very well, in fact, to get that back to himself. Open up the space, finds the ball, trying to get it under here. Didn't have quite as much control as he'd hoped. They're just happy to be back on the other side of the field here. And Racer, a little bit too slow to react to that play as Calf left with 0 boost, can only play it to the wall. Sinksy free touch, gonna shoot straight. Lucas puts it down, thankfully. No red player was there in time to try and extend this lead to 3 goals. Calf with another clearance here past both players. I'm not sure why that went through. I think Robin assumed Sinksy was going to get a touch, but they get away with it once more. With a minute left, Erebos, with only 2 shots to their name, have not managed to find any sort of consistent pressure. Not a threat to Onka whatsoever, and they're happy to just keep playing it back to the midfield.
Oh, indeed. I mean, yeah, this is why you're going to see the team at the top of the table, because they know when to just lock it down and just, you know, they don't need to push. They've got a 2-goal margin. That's going to be enough for them to see out the first game. And Erebos have got to try and change it up a little bit. And good save there from Cactus. Robin was sniffing the open net. They didn't quite get it. 30 seconds. Hail Mary time. This is it, Vector. We've got to see a goal soon. Otherwise, Erebos are going to have to dust themselves off and come back in the second game.
Sinksy doing well. Dribbles in around all 3 with his teammate to take the plaudits for the finish. But this was all down to that transformer. Pops it up high, actually gets disrupted slightly, but manages to recover, and then just plays the mind game with the final defender. Makes it 3 goals. Puts the stamp on this first game. All but over. And Erebos, as you said, they needed to get something on that push. It didn't happen, and at this point, it is just about cutting your losses, licking your wounds, and hoping that the next game starts off a little bit better. Saw barely anything from either side in the first 2 opening minutes. And then Onka realized something. They changed it up. They fixed this game to their belt. Take another one in the strike. Can they get a consolation? No, not going to be enough. Lucas with a decent effort. But ultimately, it will be a clean sheet for the Panthera Esports. Oh my goodness. I did not know that happened. I think that's the first time I've... No, I was unaware completely. I think it's the first time I've ever seen anything like happen in the post-game screen where one of the cars actually transforms. That's raised that to a new level for me. That was incredible. But yeah, I'm completely confused now, having to regain myself, as will Erebos here on the second game. But is there anything particular that you noticed, Mariska? Anything that caught your eye that made you think that Erebos had a better chance in this game, or did they ultimately just not do the fundamentals right?
Well, the thing that stood out to me is the fact that young Racer, I mean, we're talking about, you know, he was the wild card, if you like, coming into this series. And, you know, for nearly half the game, according to the stats I got in front of me, he was acting as their last man. So it's an interesting one because he didn't get any shots as well. And, well, it's a tricky one. I understand. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Basically, a young Racer, you know, when you're coming into a new team, just go for it and just sort of try and prove your worth. You've got nothing to lose, effectively. You haven't played any games before. And I think he just needs to step up a little bit and not be so... Whether he's feeling a bit nervous that he's on stream on his first game, just go for it and just sort of find that bit of aggression and just, you know, try and push and sort of make a name for yourself.
Yeah, it's perfectly understandable to think that you need to play a certain way, that you have to be conservative and make sure you're not overstepping as a player coming into a new team, even if he's not attempting to actually join this team. Any FA has to adapt on the spot. They have to be ready and capable of playing to their opponents' vices and virtues, shall we say, as they struggle to get into it. But as you said, they kind of just need to get out of their own way, play their own signature style of Rocket League. It's an amazing attempt by Erebos here, just about gets stopped on the line. They're still looking for it as Calf does manage to get a shot leveled at the front post, but Mox is able to deal with it. And Onka here under a little bit of pressure, maybe they weren't expected to see coming out of Erebos here on Forbidden Temple.
No, this is definitely a much quicker start from Erebos in this opening half here, and they're getting some good opportunities. They've just got to be careful not to let it run away too quickly from them, because, you know, good start. They made a good start, a better start than what they did in the first game, but you just got to make sure that communications is there and don't overcommit too hard, because you can see Onka probably just soak up some of this pressure and they will get them on the counter attack. So just got to be careful. But Lucas has got it top bins. He's just ignoring what I'm saying. He knows exactly what he's doing. Coming in from the corner there, Robin and Cine, whatever you want to call him. floundering on the line there, and for the first time we see Erebos getting a goal and putting themselves ahead.
Extremely effective play from Young Racer, I noticed there as well. He's done it a few times in this game already. Able to get to the ball first, win the challenges, be that first man, and it led to a difficult situation for Onka to deal with. A waterfall is awful at the best of times, but even worse when your opponent has read it long before you. Lucas gets his name on the board, unfortunately for them. Mox does so again in this second game. Got a brace in the first, looking to do it once more, I believe, as Caf. I think he wanted to get a lot stronger flick there, forward or up. Either way, it wouldn't have mattered, but unfortunately just goes straight into Mox's path onto that front post. And as you said, communication, a staple of any good team, any effective team in the end. And they've struggled with that on offense and on defense at the best of times. But situations like that, you've got to have someone back, you've got to have someone ready, even if you vehemently believe that you're going to get a clearance. A massive whiff here opens up space for Erebos, but they don't utilize it well enough, and Onka can reorganize.
See Lucas trying to get a second one on the board, but yeah, we see Onka now sort of they've taken that pressure off. They've got the goal. They've got a second one from Robin, just getting the bouncer into the top corner there. There's a lovely challenge coming in from Mox, and you see there Lucas and Young Racer just double committing, which just allowed the space for the ball to end up in the back of the net. And that was just exactly what we're talking about, Vector. The communication and just making sure you're not overcommitting or throwing more than one player at a challenge.
I'm just going to repeat what you said. Floundering. That is what Erebos' defense is looking like right now. Flailing all over the place, just trying to get something, anything in front of the ball! Oh! Speaking of, Young Racer all on his own. Gets the demo on the back line here, in fact. Rotates out of the play as the first man. Stays with it. Takes the corner boost, and is just that much quicker than the defense to re-establish the equal game. Stepping up now, he's starting to take that advice on board, I think. Morris Guy playing more of his own game, being a lot more confident in himself, rather than just sitting back and hoping that he can make enough of an influence. As Lucas with a decent-looking double tap, but can only put it planted straight back onto the wall. As Erebos putting up much more of a fight in this game, still struggling with that comms, but they're doing enough on offense to make us think, you know, they have a chance here, of course. But if they could actually shore up that defense, they'd be looking like a lot stronger team than 7th place.
Oh, for sure, yeah. I mean, so far in the second game, we've seen some beautiful signs that their offense is building in confidence. But yeah, with that confidence, they've got to make sure the back lines are kept nice and tight, and just make sure that Encore don't come away with a cheeky counter attack. But they're keeping up the pressure on Onka here as we're going into the second half of this game. And you know what, I'm kind of losing my train of thought. I'm just, it's almost
just enjoying the game.
I am just enjoying it. It's a beautiful thing to watch, to see Erebos just actually putting in a decent game for us.
See Young Racer here trying to do it all on himself. Gets past 2. Can they find the final finish? It's not going to happen, but they still have pressure. Lucas looking for another double tap. Young Racer was there on the far post, looking to rotate back through as he did for his opening goal. Can play it to Sinksy, who gets the ball with 51 out by Calf. However, Young Racer's here. Mox with the free touch, can only play it to Lucas. Will opt to go to the wall. Doesn't quite fall as he'd like to, but they hold on to possession. Calf looking to send it to the ceiling. Play off with the double tap. Young Racer once more to the backboard this time, and Robin gets a free clear. Erebos doing a lot of work in midfield to maintain this offensive push and this consistency, but if they don't get some of these chances on the board, then I think Onka is going to start to wake up a little bit more in this final minute.
I do, but it's kind of a 3v1 situation here. If they can make this one pay, Cap into the middle, but Young Racer just stuck between rotating back and going for the shot. But just keeping up the pressure here, and this is dangerous for Onka because they're just being pegged back a little bit. I don't think they're probably expected to be in this position late on in the game, but 30 seconds left, and it's anyone's guess as to which way this one's going to go.
Starting to creep back into the player. Evan Moore's mistakes. That one wasn't. It was wide. But it got Morris Guy excited as a double commit here from Onka, a rare one, but Robin's in position to disrupt Erebos' countered chance. Sinksy able to push it to Mox. No boost, however. He's just left there. I think they assume he has boost. He's able to flick it up and over. Mox with the 50 to the corner. Sinksy, in fact, Mox, we're going to take this one, is opting to just let it die in the corner as we find ourselves in the first overtime of our second series of the night in the second game. And I did pause it at the start. Thought it was going to be a 3-1, but I thought Erebos, they could take one. Maybe game 2, game 3. Could this be the one to start their Catalyst run?
If you're following Erebus, then you've got to say yes, definitely, because if they lose this one, they put in such a valiant effort in the second game, and you just know if you concede in an OT, and they're going to feel so deflated. And Lucas, good read off the backboard there. Looked dangerous, but he managed to make sure that he had his lines firmly checked. As Young race up for this one, leaving Lucas third man off the backboard. Can't keep the shot down. Bit of back and forth between the two teams at the moment.
They're sometimes struggling to follow up as the second man here, Erebos, obviously in an overtime. The less you risk, the better. Mox to win out here into the corner, looking for the double tap. Will miss, but the front man bumped out the way. Calf can only drop it to Young Racer. Gets it over one. Sinksy there to keep the midfield line held. Lucas with the ball. Little bit of time. Space. Does not get the flick. And if that was on target, can Mox get the double? He can. But it's only going to be high. Free time for Sinksy to take a strike. All three defenders back in position. Very unlikely for that to go through. But Lucas here back on the counter with the mid boost. Going to get absolutely bodied off the ball. Perfect demo by Sinksy to dissuade any sort of hope for Erebos there of taking the go-ahead goal. And back to a midfield battle once more.
Clutch demos cap off the ceiling. Can you get the shot on target? He can, and Sinksy just doing his job, getting rotation from the back post and clears his lines. And Encore being pegged back. They're definitely getting opportunities as Erebos just every time they seem to rotate back on defense, they go wide. And they're leaving themselves really open in the midfield, so they just got to be careful, because if Onka can get a shot on target, that's going to spell disaster for them. But so far, Erebos, you've got to feel they've got the better of this OT.
So they have so far, but they're in position here that could seriously damage them. As we see it again, a double commit is what kills them, a dagger in their hearts. Lucas and Calf not communicating, not telling one or the other, I got this. They both just go and hope. They end up being beaten in the end. Onka to take it just over the 2-minute mark as... Well, there's more than one animation, Morris Guy, for the Transformer.
You love it, Vector.
It's just unexpected. It's such a surprise. It's wonderful to see, and it is not wonderful to see for Erebos and fans of Erebos that Onka have taken game 2 in a match that, well, a game really that Erebos should have won. They had control for so much more time than Onka. They had more possession, they had more shots on target, but they just couldn't do it in the end. They fell to the same problems that they've had that plagued them 2 nights ago and that continue to do so. It hurts so much more being that close, when you're so close and just not close enough. So I think this really hurts them, and I don't think they're going to be able to salvage a draw here as much as you predicted them to do so.
Well, hopefully they're not listening to the stream, Vector, and they're going to ignore everything you just said, because they need to just get over the mental hurdle now. And I've seen it, if they can take one thing out of this, though, I've seen it so many times in games when a team will go 2-0 up, and they almost seem to take their foot off the gas a little bit. And if Onka do that, and Erebos can continue to sort of give themselves the opportunities that we saw them do in that second game, then you never know what might happen. But, you know, I will agree with you. It is a big ask now for Erebos to come back into this.
The old enemy, complacency, gets everyone in the end. It is inescapable. Someone at some point will underestimate their opponent, think they're so much better, as Lucas with the flip reset over the 2, as Young Racer cannot finish it. Back down the field. Punishment for even attempting it. Lucas did exceptionally well with the mechanics here, but they rush it. Young Racer and Calf both push far too hard. They had to leave the third man back. Otherwise, Mox was going to do this. 134 points, goal, a shot. His 2 teammates have 0. I think that shows you just how much of an anomaly that was. A single moment in a Rocket League game. It's very rare to see. But it was a clear counter. 15 seconds in, Onka take the lead. And really, it was all Erebos' doing that led to.
Yeah, I mean, they seem to get really excited by the fact they had an early opportunity, and all three of them were pushing hard on it. And great counter. You can't take away from Onka. They seem like they're a team that will just seize their opportunities when they come, and that's just half opportunity there for Robin, not quite able to get the speed to get on the end of it. But yeah, Onka are sitting at the top of the table because of that. You know, an opportunity occurs, they all step up and they all make the most of it. And so far in this series, they're absolutely punishing Erebos for not converting their chances.
True enough, you don't get anywhere near the top of the table without exploiting your opponent's errors. It's Erebos' prerogative to try and limit those errors as much as possible, as they continue not to. Mox with his second brace of the night. Robin passes it across. Lucas with the weak clear. And Onka just reads it like a book. They know exactly where they need to be. They've recognized the errors that they made in the second game. Forbidden Temple just wasn't their map, apparently. Sovereign Heights is where they really start to step up, as in less than a minute they got 2 goals. Maybe make it 3. Mox with his hat-trick. Almost a minute hat-trick. Just a 10 seconds over. They lose another kickoff. Young Racer, I assume he was trying to get a touch off the wall there, but he's second to it. Second best. And that's what Erebos continue to be in this series. Desperate struggle right now.
Yeah, the floodgates have opened, and it's going to be a difficult one to stem the flow, but uncharacteristic mistake there on the backboard from, who was it in the end? Robin, trying to get the read. It was an awkward one to try and get, and just completely fluffs his line. Young Racer and Calf stepping up to the plate, and his Young Racer gets the ball in the back of the net. So there is signs, there is an opportunity, there is a glimmer of hope on the horizon, but it's still a 2-goal deficit, and we saw in the first game they weren't able to overturn that one. So they might be able to do it in this one, but they've got to make sure they don't. I'm not even going to finish the sentence because it's just not worth it.
It speaks for itself. The play on the field, Robin somehow passes this to himself. He just happened to be in the right place by the time that ball came back through into the play, as over-aggression benefited Erebos off that kickoff before. It did not in this one. They've conceded twice off kickoffs now. Robin to push this one away, make sure they don't develop any ideas of a comeback. Still 3 minutes left of this game, by the way, so anyone not paying attention. 5 goals on the board. Onka trying to make it 6 as they lose out on the 50. Young Racer doing well, but for some reason Lucas rotates straight back through the play, so they stop their push. Gets bumped out of the way for his troubles. Calf will lose the second 50. Just going to be straight back down the field. Lucas going backwards. Awkward position, awkward time. Sinksy looking to pass it to mid, but Calf with just enough boost to take away the first play, not the second. Young Racer, wild flailing hit to the side wall, and Lucas had to deal with the after effects. Mox trying to hunt this one down. I'm sure will love to get more than a hat-trick. Get his name on the scoring sheet once again. Had those stats at the top of the table. I would, if I was them, to be honest. They don't seem to be sweating too much in this series, especially in this third game. Now with half the game left to go, they still have the chance of a comeback. Morris Sky, I'm going to give them that, but they seriously need to improve in all areas.
They need a goal, and they need it soon. I mean, I have seen 3-goal deficit overturned with just under a minute to play, so it is possible. I've seen it done, but at the moment, like Andre in the chat says, I mean, Onka are playing with a lot of confidence now. They've got the 3-goal lead. They're just sort of toying and soaking up pressure when it gets turned on them, and they're not looking like they're going to let this one loose anytime soon, but certainly wayward such is, oh my word, Young Racer slamming the underside of the bar. Certainly don't want to give opportunities like that, but unfortunately Erebos again not able to convert an opportunity.
Even Onka's fourth man coming to the rescue, make it another one. As Sinksy, that was on target. He had to get there, make the stop. His first save, the first save Onka has had to make this entire game, by the way. Erebos have had only 4 shots, however, with the Young Racer being the only one to take them. So that should tell you enough that Erebos have not been in the offensive side of the field nearly enough in this third game. Young Racer to try and take this past the first man will do so, but it's just more time off the clock for Onka to play with, and Demo on the back line just not timed well enough, as Lucas didn't want to commit. They should be throwing absolutely everything down to the red half of the field, as Lucas just flies narrowly past that ball. You've got to say that had to go in to to give them any hope of getting back into this game.
Did. So we've seen it so often. Oh my word. Mox is just adding the insult to the injury. And as I was going to say, so we've seen it so much in this series. Eberos are just pushing. They're trying their best to break the defensive line, and then they just get punished for even considering doing such a play to try and get it on. As Mox, lovely flick, saving a line by Lucas. And with a 4-goal deficit, I think this is pretty much it done and dusted for Erebos.
Mox attempting to score another goal, this time on the wrong colour net, but does just realise at the last moment that he has to stop it going into that net, and ends up putting it back down the field himself to allow Sinksy to get his first goal of the game. I think he actually, they bumped him into it and then Mox followed up, but it doesn't matter because Erebos just a little bit too slow to the play, now desperately attempting to avoid the Brazil, I should imagine. As Mox was 100% shooting until that second to last shot. He was 4 for 4, but now he's 4 for 5, unfortunately. Young Racer just trying to keep it in this half of the field, make sure they cannot take that 7th, as this will just make things so much worse. They're already on track to be swept twice in 1 week on stream by the top 2 teams in their conference. I struggle to imagine a worse situation. I suppose it'd be worse if you got swept by the bottom 2 teams, but still, the fact they've had to face the top 2 and they're in this situation, they're desperately trying to break into the top 6 of the table. Another one. There's a third one. He's doing the robot because there's a robot. You get it, Morsky? Anyway, it wasn't in Brazil, but it was close enough. It was damaging enough, and as I alluded to on Forbidden Temple, I just do not believe Erebos have the mental fortitude, the grit to drag themselves back into this series. Young Racer, bless his heart, is doing the best he can. He got for 500 points on Forbidden Temple, 300 here. He's been the shining light for this Might of Hades side, but the rest of the team struggling desperately. And a lot of it is down to Onka just playing extremely well. 6 goals tells you that enough. Well, Mox took 4 of them, so it's hard to say. It's weighted heavily towards Mox's favour, but they still worked as a team. 4 of their goals were assisted, so they're just playing better. They're just exceptional. They're at the top of the table. It makes sense. Clawing that ground back from Tizok. And Erebos just trying to cover up for an awful week, a forgettable week.
Yeah, I think if anything, what they need to just focus on now is just getting that final win, just adding it onto the board, and then hopefully going into next week, that might just give them a little bit more of a confidence boost. Because yeah, this has been a week to forget, but you know, for all the negatives that we say for Erebos, we've got to give the positives. You've got to give a shout out to Onko. They are looking like a solid team. They're just working well together. They soak up the pressure, good rotations, punishing mistakes. You know, it's why they're at the top of the table. And you don't want to take much away from Erebos as well, but they just got to sort out their defensive problems, I think, at the moment. That's the main issue for me. There you
Almost
go.
as if you, I can't think of the word, but you said it and it happened. Defensive issues. The last man was just destroyed, so defense literally non-existent, of course. Not to Erebos' desire. But Onka, the best team show no mercy. Doesn't matter who your opponent is. You've got to beat who's in front of you. And they've done that through and through. Now it is just about holding their nerve and making sure they can get this 4th one. They've took the first stride of an opening goal, almost off kickoff, to do it once again. Another demo on the back line. Ankara just getting so much more dangerous as Sinksy was not able to get the touch across for the second goal. But they're getting a lot more physical. There's a lot more animosity here, shall we say. As you said a couple nights ago, you love demos, you love disruption. Rough housing is just so entertaining, especially when it comes down to the 4th game here on Beckwith Park. It will be Onka to take the lead of that. Mox now 6 goals in a row unanswered.
I mean, somebody just keep the white towel handy. You might need to throw it in before you even get to the halfway point, but at the moment, fair play to Onka. Yes, I love demo plays, and they are absolutely pummeling their opponents here, Erebos, and it's almost like they're just having fun at the moment. They just know they've got the victory, and they just want to put the icing on the cake. As they're gonna get a 3rd. We've just gone past a minute played on the clock. And, this is becoming painful to watch at the moment, Vector. I don't know about you, but I might need to look away in a minute.
Well, you said it before, you do not like dominating performances. You don't like it when one team is just completely running away with it. Because it can be entertaining and it can show us just how incredible one side is, but it's not a competition. It's not fun to just watch someone get wailed upon and have no ability to defend themselves. As valiant as Erebos have been in this situation, they do get one back here. Surprising misplay, should we say, from Onka's rotation. Robin not with the touch that he wanted. And I think there was a team bump there, Sinksy trying to get back into position, and Mox was nowhere near the back post. So they do get one through. The cynical among us, I'm sure, will say that was essentially just a Brazil setup. They will not let any more through. But time is a fickle beast. It is not our friend nor our foe. And it will tell whether or not Onka allow another one in. Erebos certainly hope that is the case.
You know what? I believe, Vector. This is it. This is the comeback. This is where it all starts. 3 minutes and 20 on the clock. Enough time on the board to get 2 more goals. And they will bring it back to us. They will make a game out of this. This is going to OT. I'm calling it now. Erebos are going to bring it back. Bring back the entertainment and just stem the flow of hurt and pain that's been inflicted on them at the moment. But oh, there we go! I called it! Beautiful demo on the line. Oh, that's what we will love to see. 1 goal in it now. As young Racer, he was quiet in the first game and he's absolutely stepping up to the plate. More of that, lads. Let's go.
Still need one as a second defensive mistake from Robin opens up the space. Took a demo on the back line. That disruption we talked about, could they be punished straight off kickoff? As Morris guys shouts of adoration, of jubilation, immediately replaced by silence and despair in Erebos's back of the line there. Back of the net once more for Sinksy. Second double of the night, I believe. Second brace, that is. As they try to regain once more off the kickoff. Calf is demoed out. They're still in the blue half. Lucas will beat out the encroaching first man. Sinksy with the free touch to the wall. Gets a treadmill touch across the Mox. Was not expecting it. Still keep the offense alive. Back through the corner. Well beat by Calf. And Racer trying to give the keeper the eyes there, I think. Was looking for a demo, but then got told that no one was on the ball, so opted to go back. He's here for the follow-up as he gets 2 players to go up for it. Calf is there. He's only going to be able to put it backwards. Lucas to dive upon it. Going to be shifted high. As again, you can see every now and then Erebos, they're in decent positions, but they don't communicate where they're going to put the ball, so they're just that bit too slow. And Onka able to rotate back in time.
I think you've had to hit the nail on the head there.
Hold on.
Calf. Oh my word, into the path of Lucas. My word.
I've never seen a backfire do that.
Well, there's a first time for everything as Calf, I think, trying to get the bump play, and Lucas finally, I mean, it might be a little bit too late to be doing team plays. You probably should have done it from game 1, but beautiful play there nonetheless.
Better late than never.
Yeah, exactly. And like I was saying, you know, going into next week, this might just be a little bit of a confidence boost to show that they can, you know, they can perform. As Lucas right hand side here, trying to get it past Cinex and past the Calf. Oh, Calf fluffed his lines on the last hurdle there. My word, minute 40. That's still possible.
Like the patience, though, the decision making has stepped up massively in this final game. As you said at the very beginning to Young Racer, that he should just get out of his own head, play how you enjoy playing, how you best feel you should play, rather than how you think that you have to. As Young Racer with another bump here, but Lucas was disrupted. And I feel like that philosophy has just pushed across to the entire Erebos team. They're in a similar situation as they were on Forbidden Temple, where they got so close as this is passed back all the way to Young Racer. Got plenty of boost to take it up to the field himself. As Lucas goes early, he might have faked out. Sinksy could just about take it off the line. Young Racer there.
No
Another
way.
demo opens it up as Calf, with his first goal of the game, potentially of the entire series, equalizes in the final minute. Your wish could be coming true, Morris guy. I said prophecy mistakenly a moment ago. Maybe it wasn't a mistake.
You know what? I might have lost the overall 2-all draw prediction. But if they come back and they get this one, I am clipping this and I'm saving this in my epic folder. That is.
I need them to win for my prediction. So I'm all
there we
Erebos
go.
right here.
There is a lot on the line at the moment, so Erebos, I don't want to be seen as being, biased towards a particular team at the moment, but come on. Onker have got the victory in this one. They've got the win. So just let's cheer on Erebos in this one.
They've got enough.
Let's see if they can do it.
They don't need to be greedy, as the Erebos defense is stalwart enough to stop another Onker attack. Thinks he's there, but good rotation by Caf. Reads the ball. They're on each other's toes there, trying to get it back through. Lucas still gonna hurtle it down the field now, down the wing. Lucas gonna pop it back to the mid. He's gonna try and get this himself. Young Racer trying to be in the right position as Caf will be behind him. He has the boost. Can he dissuade Mox to get it back down to the field? Gonna hit the ground right on the edge of the blue box. Second overtime of this series. Similar situation for Erebos. The scoreline is different, but the stakes are so much higher. Right now, they are avoiding being swept twice on stream in the same week by the top two teams in their conference. They're keeping my prediction alive. Will this happen, or will Onker dash all our dreams against the rocks?
If they do, I will forever. Well, no, you know what? I was going to say whatever, curse them, but no, I can't do that because I can't take it. I've got to show some neutrality in this one. Encore have been on point in this series, but so far in this game, it is Erebos that are trying to do the impossible and get the epic comeback. They look completely out of it and first part of this game, and they've shown that they've still got a lot of fight in them. But the demo there from CXC, just about Lucas getting in the challenge there at the near post, but this is still dangerous to them. A Young Racer, he has definitely stepped up in this series, that is for sure.
Erebos starting to look fatigued, some strange whiffs in the midfield, but they still managed to keep the pressure here. Sinksy with a good play back up the field, wins the 50, gets the boost. It's all to play for here, but Young Racer going back towards his own half to get that out of the way. Is that so deadly on the front post? They just about snatch it away as Caf to just about win the 50. Robin opts to leave this for Mox. Still in the blue half of the field, no one wants to commit, sends it to the back board. Young Racer ready to deal with it, but he actually ends up missing. That might have made the offense hesitate for a moment as it's put back to Sinksy. He can't play this ball. Lucas doesn't know. Well, no one knows that Lucas has enough boost. Is this going to be leveled against the target? Young Racer just about back for that one. Wide open net will be missed, however. Going towards the second minute, this is where it all ended in game 2. Is it going to happen again?
I believe, and so does it. What a save, Robin! Oh, Lucas seemed destined to get the point in the back of the net, but Robin, beautiful save off the backboard out of nowhere. My words, so close again, Erebos. They've just got to keep on fighting at the moment, but Encore will definitely be feeling that they've got the luck on their side in this one. Young Racer popping it forward, and second man there, Lucas, is a little bit far back. Mox now, right-hand corner. Gotta be careful here, Erebos. They just have to soak this up a little bit. The double commit, though, as Robin's going up for it. And Lucas sends it into the corner. And I haven't been this excited about a game for him quite some time.
It's insane to think this is how it's ended up going. It was a demolition job throughout most of the series. I mean, the second game was an overtime. To be fair to Erebos, they kept it close as they're doing here. And they've survived longer than they did before as a passing play begins to open up. No one wants to stay with it though. They're so fearful of that counter that Onker have utilized so much throughout this game. Caf back onto the offensive side, gets it to the corner, but no further than Sinksy. Lucas taking his time, is patient here, knows that he can just use up some space, allow his team to rotate, get into position, work the boost lanes. It's a nice disruption there, opens up space. Another demo. Young Racer's here. It's not going to be past Sinksy. Stalwart on that near post. He's done it so many times now to keep Onker in contention. Caf to the backboard. Is anyone there? Will it be Lucas? No, it's Young Racer instead. Gets 50'd out. Lucas here on a hat-trick, remember. Trying to get this one in a doozy dish, but he misses it. It's just narrowly wide through the corner once more. Caf to try and keep something going. A double commit allows Young Racer onto the ball, but they're just about holding on by the skin of their teeth.
Gotta keep up. Caf taking it to the air. Can he get on the end of this one? Sinksy on the line. Had Robin covering his behind him as well, and still the pressure being firmly placed onto Encore. The beautiful demo on the line by Young Racer. And again, another demo. Young Racer is smelling blood. He wants to give his team the best opportunity, the best chance they can to come away with victory in this one. He's working his socks off, and Lucas gets the first touch of that one. Young Racer on the end of this one from Robin. Good rotation from him, but sinks the awkward touch, and Young Racer can't quite get on the end of that.
How in the world is this still going? We're quickly encroaching a second, technically fifth game of Rocket League in this series. Still as close as ever. 8 goals have already gone in. The 9th must go either towards Erebos and Might of Hades, avoiding the worst of defeats. Lucas looking to link back up with Young Racer, just narrowly wide of him. And they try to keep it alive. Young Racer, so many times in this game, throughout this series, is disrupted, has been demoing, being a bully to the enemy as Mox is there to finish it off, but Lucas stops it on the line, makes his 4th save of the game, keeps them in it, back down the field we go. Lucas will get 15 out, but it's up to Caf, who opts to leave it here. Young Racer needed boost though, and that was almost narrowly going to be straight towards the net as Sinksy with a soft reset with the boost. Time to breathe for both these sides. They desperately need it.
I don't know how much I can take of this one. We've had some epic saves, we've had some epic shots, and what an epic game for all. And plus 5 minutes of OT. Anybody in chat know how long this one's going to go on for? Let us know. Just give us your predictions now, because I don't know how much more I can take of this one, Vector. But at the moment, Erebos are trying their hardest, but fair play to Onka. It just seems like the defence is just locking down at the moment and not giving Erebos a clear opportunity, despite how much they're trying.
We'll start thumbing through the record books if we're not careful. Sphinxy through the corner, can't get one of his double taps here. Young Racer to extend it down the field, almost gets the second touch as well. Lucas back onto this one with a little boost, but fakes it out. It's under one. Mox somehow reads this play, knows what's going to happen, gets in front of it. Young Racer attempts to play it high. Sinksy getting bodied out of the way once more. He's so desperate to get that disruption. Can Caf do it? He's going to put it on target, but the defender's in his face. Young Racer is beaten out as well. Lucas has to sit back and allow Caf to go for this, but they double commit, allow some space. All Sinksy can do, can yeet it, shall we say, to the backboard. Through the corner once more. Robin to whiff. Sinksy is there. They're following up each other's touches. Oh my goodness, is this Caf with the time? No, he's going to have to 1v1. Sinksy's with no boost. He gets past one. Young Racer! He pulls out the play, attempts to go for the fake, but it's not enough. Lucas, can he do it? On the hat-trick, Sinksy gets back in time as... What is happening? This is so back and forth. Chances missed, chances stopped. This is incredible Rocket League.
Oh, Kazir, I totally agree. They are just farming points at the moment. They want to make sure that they
Caf
get
beats.
something in. Oh, just one of you, just please, just stick in the back of the net.
Score, for goodness sake. It's
Score,
gonna
Lucas!
end. No. Stopped again. There's such a rivalry here developing between Lucas and Sinksy. I cannot believe it. He has had 8 shots and Sinksy has stopped 10 of them. 10 saves. I know it's inflated because it's overtime, but it's still incredible. Can he get one over? 3 defenders. Robin almost own goals to keep that one out. As he has a little bit of time on the sidewall, but Caf wants to beat him. Young Racer's taking out the play. That means there's no second man. Sinksy gets all the time in the world to do what he wants with this ball. 15 out into the midfield. Mox the beat. Lucas does get the touch, and Caf should beat to this one. Not enough boost. Enough to get it past Robin, though. Back to the midfield. Lucas with a second touch. Another backboard play. Young Racer doesn't want to commit early for whatever reason. They just don't want to take that risk as the second man. As Mox left to leave this to Robin. Back to the corner once more. Space afforded to them. Back on offense. Here we go, Onka. Sinksy with a second attempt. 1386 points. Cut out in the midfield. Lucas can send it to Caf. Another one is going to be dropped down for the defense to deal with. Young Racer takes his time and doesn't read the bounce well enough. I just don't know what to say anymore. Everything's been said. All we need now is a goal.
I think we do, and we might have one. No, DC! You destroyed the dream. It's over. Oh, just couldn't quite do it at the end. And Onka, I mean, I feel I am a neutral party in this one. Do not get me wrong. I love both teams, but at this very moment in time, I am absolutely devastated that Erebos have not been able to come away with the victory on that. That was some game there to round it off, and I don't know about you, Vector, but it just feels so unjust that Erebos, they threw so much of themselves into it in games 2, and you just seen there in game 4, they were trying their hardest, but the defense for Onka, some absolutely insane saves, and just, you know, we're gonna have to clip that and make sure that it goes in the play of the week, because, you know, defense was on point, but
Too many things to clip, to be honest.
yeah,
That was wild. That was. I ran out of things to say. I just kept shouting and hoping that something crazy would happen, and I will start to pen my 10-page apology letter to Erebos there for cursing it and allowing Onka to score. We just need a goal since he scores. 136 touches for him in that game, by the way. Above double-digit saves, a hat-trick, almost 1,500 points. I mean, I thought Mox was the MVP of this series, but after that final game, Sinksy did so many crucial things throughout, and I cannot thank them enough for giving us a game like that, especially Erebos coming back. I have had the words taken out of my mouth. I was wrong. They did have the grit. They had the fortitude. They had the belief to fight back. And even though they lost, they put in a winning performance. They are heroes in my eyes, to themselves, to their franchise. What an incredible final game, considering the way the rest of that series went. No one, I guarantee you, not a single person expected that situation to occur. An over 8-minute overtime. Oh my goodness, how do we follow that? How do you follow that? There's a prospect game up next. If that's any better than this, I will eat my hat. I only have one hat, so please don't make me eat my hat.
you know, you just cursed it, and we're going to want to be seeing that
For goodness
hat
sake.
on stream. So I don't know. I mean, I've got to give a shout out.
On the knife and fork.
I've got to give a shout out to Young Racer as well. He came into this one as a you know, an unknown entity, and you know, despite that first game where it just seemed to be a little bit hesitant, he came through. And I think, if anything, in games 2 and 4 there, his demoing on the rotations out on the offense was causing so much issue for Onka. And I think that's where a lot of their opportunities came from, is just sort of creating that space on the offense. And going forward, I think Erebos, they just need to sort your defense out, lads. Just communications, making sure your third man's not pushing too hard when it doesn't need to. And I think they'll be all right. But, you know, there's still a chance for them in the table. You know, still got a couple of weeks left to go. Who knows what we're going to see. But fair play to Onka as well. Absolutely rock solid on the defense. They soaked up so much pressure. And, you know, that's why they're top of the table. That's all I can say to that.
Well, they gave us an entertaining show, which is really all that we can ask for. Here in the RSC, it was exceptional in every aspect, that final game. They left it all out on the field. They gave absolutely everything they had, but in the end, Onka just about sealed it. As Erebos swept twice in 1 week on stream, it has happened. I don't think that's ever happened before. It is not a record that you want. It's not an accolade that you want, but they have gone down in my eyes, in my opinion, in RSC history with that final game. That was incredible. But we're not done yet. We've still got one more series of the night. Unfortunately, Morris Guy, you will be leaving me. You will be taking a well-deserved break. I, however, must continue on down to Prospect. It will be Jubatus versus a Newborn. We'll be back in a very short amount of time, considering that last series. We need to leave now so that streamer Kendo has time to set everything up, giving him very little time to do that. But it's been exceptional. We hope you all enjoyed it at home, but don't go anywhere, because we'll be back with some more RSC action.
I'll never forget this day. I'll never I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I'm cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day. 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 I'm gonna throw my memories away. Now I feel I'm done, and I'm cursed by every day till my time is gone. I've never felt this way before, and now I know this all for sure. I won't forget your last betray. I'll never forget this day.
Giving up, letting go. Times we might feel compelled. Looking down from the heights that we have built all by
Good evening, one and all, and welcome back very quickly to the RSC EU Season 12, Week 6 of League Play. It will be the final series of the night. Top two face off once again in the Prospect Division. Jubatas versus Newborn. And if you're just joining us, you may notice, I said you may notice something differently. If you're just joining us, you won't notice anything different. The fact is, I myself, Vector, am back from the previous series. Replacing Morris Guy, however, is Smokey Bear. Our first time on the cast ever together. I'm surrounded by Scots. I've got a streamer in Kendo and Smokey Bear alongside me. But hopefully the Rocket League can allay my fears, shall we say.
Well, do you know, these two teams here, Vector, they'll to be fielded in their conference, both respectively first and second. Jubatas and Newborn, and I've got some stats for y'all here. So Jubatas have won 29 games and they have lost 15 games with a 65.91% win rate. They've scored 123 goals, had 81 scored against them, of course leaving a 42 goal difference. That's lose, draw, lose, win, win. And Newborn have won 28, lost 16, which is a 63.64% win rate. 140 goals scored for, 100 against, with a goal difference of 40, and it's win, 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 draw, win. So a little bit of a difference there, but not by much there, Vector, eh?
Certainly not. As all those numbers, they add up to just one of probably the best matches we could have on stream this season. Top two, as you said, it's extremely close at the top of the Prospect Ignis Conference. The top four are just within 3 games of each other. Jubatas and Newborn here at the top two, and one struggling side. However, as you already mentioned, Newborn, their last 5 series, they've won 4 of them. They haven't dropped. They've actually dropped 1 game in their last 3 series. 2 of those were sweeps. Their last series this week was a sweep, and I'm not expecting quite the same thing. Despite Jubatas' record as of late, 2 losses and a draw in their last 3 series. They've also played this week as well, so they're salvaging some of that, and it has what has allowed Newborn to get into this position to be only 1 game behind. I expect this to go down to the wire. I think this will be a draw. I have been accused of making bad decisions in the past, bad predictions by saying a draw, kind of jinxing myself and jinxing the result a lot of times as well. But I went 3-1 in the last series and that was a sweep, so I'm changing up my methodology here. The top two, I think this goes down to the wire.
Very, very interesting, especially with, as you say, as we have been saying, these two teams are pretty much neck and neck. However, being in this conference myself, and being a player who has played against both of these teams, it's really exciting, but I think I'm going to go for Jubatas 3-1 here for my prediction. I'm pretty confident that Jubatas will have this one in the bag, but it's all about who shows up in the series, isn't it?
It certainly is, as we have everybody in the lobby ready to go, underway with the final series of the night. Masters in the chat just mentioning that Propel apparently have already played. They did play last night. The result just has not been submitted yet, so they are potentially at the top of the table right now. I'm not sure with how many points, but should either side take control of this series and take it in a 3-1 or a 4-0, I should imagine they'll be right back up to the throne of the Ignis Prospect Conference. Time shall tell, however. Last series was a sweep. Games 2 and 4 were extremely close. I'm expecting to see the same thing. You're in this tier, you know it best, you know the players. Are you expecting anything different?
Well, this tier can be a bit random sometimes, and it's very easy for comms to break down and for these power shots to just slip up and over the goalkeeper just like that. And I think this is what makes Prospects so unpredictable and fun to watch. And here, another second shot here for Newborn. This is Jubatas' defence holding out initially, but will they be able to break up to that other side of the field and bang one in? Silver's Relight trying to jump up for that 5th there, but it's been taken over. Jay Kusiak, Blugie can't get it, and Spexy has smashed that one in.
Essentially a 1v3 here, gets it down the field himself, past the second, and the third is just so narrowly behind that ball. Actually ends up putting it in himself. Of course, it will not matter. Spexy with the plaudits gets the first goal on the board. First minute in for Newborn. The team in form should be expected to getting the first goal as they open up the scoring here. Spexy trying to do it all himself again, but doesn't quite have the boost to follow up his third touch. Does get to 50 somehow as Gav to keep up the pressure. Back through this corner, however, Silvers trying to beat out the second man. It's just going to be Spexy here again. I feel like I've said his name the most throughout this game. No surprise considering. But it's been entertaining so far.
Yeah, we're starting to see some good appearances from a few players here, and here's another one. Jay Kusiak and Blugie there managing to link up from Gav's clear. Didn't quite make it out from the corner, and just like that unpredictability I was talking about, a little breakdown of something here and there, it just opens up that net. And there's the equaliser. We're one each. We're looking good for both of our predictions here initially. But yeah, I wonder which way that'll go, mate.
No idea. No idea with Prospect. I mean, it's easy to say Elite is the most unpredictable of any tier in the RSC, but it could be Prospect, even Challenge. It could be any. We saw a weird Master game at the start of the night that didn't go the way Kingsman and Vino expected to. We didn't expect the way the second series went, so what's to say that the third should be any different? As double commit here to try and pinch it back out down to the blue half of the field. Blugie to pick it back up. Another double commit here from Newborn on defense. Blugie unfortunately didn't have the momentum to follow up and make more of a threat of this play. Spexy taking his time over one. A little bit of boost as well. Cannot beat the second. It's to the backboard. He can find it himself. Silver's right there, but just narrowly off target. That pass. Spexy gonna punish them for the mistake. Straight to the ceiling. Another chance here for Overdrive. Puts it low, but it's wide. Unfortunate for them, they cannot regain the lead just yet.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Newborn, but they're looking good right now. You know, they've had that first goal, they've had a good few looks right now, but it's Jabatis that seem to be on the counter-attack. They seem to be able to hold them out for now and flip that pressure up to the other side of the field. How is Silver's really going to deal with this? Take it up to the backboard to try and get that corner boost. Don't think they did, and look at the 50s here coming from Newborn. They're fighting all the way up in the corner. Silver's Relay and Blugie all doing the same thing. They're just really committed right now, really involved. Overdrive just pinching it off the sidewall there. But look at Jay Gusiak, they're up off the backboard. Silver's Relay sets it up, it's up so high. Blugie and Gav fighting in the air there. And Gav will see that one away for now. Wow. Spirited
endeavour by the Jubatis offense there, but to ultimately no avail. They get stopped 3 times. Overdrive to push it back down the field. The demo did open up space, but couldn't maintain control of the ball. Spexy with a whiff as well, coming out of defense. Jay Kuziak able to play it through the corner. Still not much more to it, as the status quos remain 1-1 from, I believe, all the way the 3rd minute. It's a great passing play though, down the field. Overdrive with their first goal of the game, sinks it bottom left. Brilliant play here to find the way through the passing lines, and the defense is just sort of out of place there, it felt like. Good exploitation and great finish to get that lead back.
Yeah, those infield passes, they just always seem to cut out that little bit of space, especially if your position is not ready for it, and Jubatis were not ready for that one there. Newborn are looking to be all over this right now. There's another shot coming in, but Silver's really going to see that one away. Here's Spexy playing it up off the sidewall. It's going to fall but to the back post, and it just has to soft touch it into the net, and that's 3-1 now here to Newborn.
That's one of the slowest goals I've seen on stream. 16 miles per hour for me. As Jay Kuziak will be so upset. Could not quite get a touch on that one to take it further past the marauding offense of Newborn at this point. As the final minute dawns, 2-goal deficit. It's difficult to beat. Over the top. Overdrive, are you kidding me? That's a double tap off the ceiling in Prospect.
Well,
that's not allowed. Past 2 players as well. Oh my goodness.
I know someone who's getting a promotion next split. That was absolutely crazy goal though. Beautiful mechanics of the game. And yeah, it looked so clean, didn't it?
Oh
what
yeah.
a goal.
I mean, it's not unheard of for players in Prospect and Challenger to be highly adept at their mechanics. It's typically where they suffer in other areas of the field in terms of decision making and rotation communication at times as well. But if they can utilize that mechanical prowess well enough, if they get the space, if they get the time, then they can be utterly deadly. As we've clearly seen there from Overdrive, picked up their brace and made it all but a certainty that Newborn will be taking game 1 in their strides. 30 seconds hits its mark. Shall Newborn do so again, or will it be Jubatis to give us something to think about, give Newborn something to think about? We saw a crazy 4-4 overtime at the end of Series 2 tonight. Will it happen again?
And that's 13 shots for Newborn this game. Oh, nearly another one there, but don't think it quite went on the register. Spexy trying to take it up from the corner, but yeah, Javatis is going to see this one away, and we are finishing this first game on 4-1 to Newborn. Interesting first game, eh?
Yeah, they really took control by the end. It was an interesting affair to start out with. The first 2-3 minutes, both teams matching each other in almost every aspect of the game. Newborn did open up. They took the early momentum, and I think that gave them that just a little bit more to hang on to. We gave them that little bit more hope and belief going forward towards the end. Javatis just sort of capitulated and realized they didn't have as much fight left as their Green Phoenix opponents, but it's not all said and done just yet. There's still a win potential here for Javatis. They are desperate, of course, to change their fortunes, get back into winning ways on a loss streak as it stands. But Newborn, they're used to this. 2 sweeps in the last 3 games, a 3-1 being the other, and they're incredible at the game. Clearly from Overdrive's finish there, of course you can't see it on the stream, see it again. What a finish that was. They took a lot more shots than they got goals, so a little bit of inefficacy there in terms of their finishing, but if you get more shots than your opponent, it's likely you're going to win.
Well, this is what we were starting to see, wasn't it? But we're starting to see Javatis, as they got that first goal back after Newborn took one up on them. It was a counter-attack because, all over the field, it was Newborn who was pushing up onto Javatis' defence. And, as these second and third games, start to take place, well, will we see that those counter-attacks being a little bit more productive? Or will Newborn just be all over it from the get-go? They've captured that momentum from game 1. They're ready to go into Forbidden Temple here. Absolutely swinging. Right, here we go.
Into game 2, Forbidden Temple. This is where we saw Erebos desperately try to get something on the board. Took them to an overtime, a 2-minute one at that. They fought well. Can Javatis channel some of that energy as a double commit pinch to get it out of their own half here? Newborn will pick it up for free. A team bump there does mean that they get a free clearance. Javatis once more. Gab on the side wall, straight down to Silvers. Actually, that was awkward to deal with, but Spexy reads it well, puts it back down to the half field. There's an open net. It's going to be floating down off the crossbar. Thankfully for Javatis, Boogie's back in time to prevent Overdrive getting their 3rd goal of the series. Having to stop some early chances here, but they're doing decently enough to keep it over the half-field line.
Yeah, doing well right now. We're almost a minute in and no goals have been scored. Just as I went to say that, we almost had one. The demo happening on the back line as well, but the ball just not reaching the target. And Javatis here, they're looking a little bit more aggressive in this first game. They're looking to be pushing quite hard here, but speaking of pushing quite hard, that was Spexy, but yeah, Kusiak there, it's all over it, ready to send it back up the other side of the field. The ball's going pretty high here, dropping into the middle. No one is going to be able to find it for the Javatis team, and Overdrive trying a little something cheeky off on the backboard there, but it's just not worked out.
It's no great surprise they're choosing aggression. Sort of the, there's 12 steps of denial, or 5 steps of denial, something like that. It's a similar thing with Rocket League in my eyes. You just sort of play however you feel like in the first game, then you go into aggression, then you go into desperation, just hitting the ball as hard as you can at the backboard and hoping someone picks it up. They're in that second stage right now, Javatis, and it is keeping them in the red half more often than not. They are tied on shots with Newborn, so in the philosophy that offense is the best defense, they're doing well. Still, this half of the field, a good boost steal opens up space, a big bump as well, but Gav a little too receded there. Back down the field, couldn't quite get to the ball quick enough for Javatis' defense to adjust. They managed to take control of the ball once more. Going to take it to the wall, I assume Silvers. He fakes it out, does very well, gets to 50-2. This is a 3v1 if they can speed it up a little bit. As Jay Kuziak is there, Spexy to the backboard. No boost for the second, but Overdrive to come in as the savior. Stop Bloogie on the line. They somehow keep it level. That was a great chance for Javatis.
Yeah, great chance for Javatis, and Newborn here trying to get a wee chance of their own, but they clear it here, and while the ball's dropping out, I want to know what everybody in the chat thinks. This is such a close series here, such a close game in this second match of the series. I want to know what everybody thinks. Javatis? Newborn? I'm going crazy, like I can't decide. My prediction 3-1, being for Javatis, and well, you know, there was that first game for Newborn, if we want to go by predictions, and Jabatis here really seeming to hold off well, and as you said, pressure into that half, and if they can cut out more of those demo plays and get involved a bit more, bumping the defence, that one is going to fall wide, but that could have been dangerous if that had managed to fall on target.
Oh, that one is as well, especially back in time. You asked for opinions from the chat. One person, Demonics, first thing he said, I'm here for Smokey's commentary. So you got that going for you, mate. And also that Newborn are nicely spaced for Prospect, and I have to agree. Jabatis getting double committed on some plays, something we noticed as well, but it's not hurt them just yet. This one does look like a chance for Gav to send it down the field. A follow-up from Overdrive, looking to pass that, a 1-2 passing play, but I think Gav went for the disruption instead of just sitting there and waiting. A miscommunication means a chance spurned for Newborn as their 5th shot goes awry. Again, the backboard, able to vent some of that pressure, allow Jkuziak to get this one away under pressure himself. But they do get back down the field once more in the final minute, not a single goal. It's basically game 1, but it's just stayed even.
Yeah, basically game 1, but we just got, I was going to say no goals, but wait a minute, never mind.
Oh my goodness.
That was an absolute smasher there. Gav just using the card of Blugie to hit that up for the pass. Spexy smashing that one in, 54 miles an hour for me. Crazy power actually from that actual height and getting that into the back of the net just below the crossbar there. Very good shot placement. 50 seconds left to hold out for Newborn to be 2-up. But wait a minute, that almost was, yep, going to be 2-0 there. Blugie now up and over. Silver's realised, jumped up to get the pass, but no connection will be made. Blugie there picking it up, bit of a double commit. No one home right now for Jabatis. Overdrive up in the air, takes it and comes out. Don't think they maybe quite get the connection that they wanted there. Spexy diving up to the backboard to have to parry that one away. Blugie hitting that one on target. Gav, it's just shot after shot, clearance after clearance. Oh my days.
I don't know where Newborn are finding the boost, but they are. The defense held strong. Overdrive with the free shot, puts it behind him. Jkuziak off the line. Last chance saloon for Jabatis here. Silver's off the sidewall. Jkuziak has to keep it up, but ends up taking it off of Bluegie's front bumper. Oh no, that's so unfortunate. They had a chance to keep it up, keep it alive in the offensive half of the field, but chance missed. Newborn take it a lot less convincingly here in game 2. You said they got a lot more aggressive, Jabatis, and that's risk reward in a lot of situations where just one moment, one lapse of concentration can be all it takes, and that allowed Newborn to get through. Spexy to pick up another goal, almost 500 points in this game, well on their way to an MVP performance. And it's just the little things, it feels like. They get so close, Jabatis. They kept it far, far closer than the first game. They just cannot quite execute.
Yeah, that was 9 shots for each team. 1-3-5 for Newborn and 5-3-1 there for Jabatis, respectively. Yeah, exactly. Perfectly symmetrical. And I think that just goes to show you again what we were talking about in Prospect earlier, and you know, how these teams being so close within their games respectively, what they've played. It's really even Stevens here, but yep, Newborn found that net one time, and that's all they needed to do.
Well, your prediction's gone, Smokey.
Yep,
that can be quickly shoved out the window and swept under the rug. And mine, hanging on by a thread, you've got to say. I really expected Jabatis to get something there at the very least in overtime. Give us some sort of doubt that Newborn may have this series well in hand. Still a chance of a draw. A big miss on the sidewall. Maybe a fake as Blugie. Straight off kickoff, attempts to go for a shot here. Double fake, double whiff. I don't know, but all I know, Jkuziak puts it wide to the right. Chance missed once more for Jabatis to get on the board, to take a lead especially. That's something they're desperately looking for. Give them that momentum, but Overdrive's looking to do it again with the double tap. This time it will be wide, but every time they go up into the air with boost, now I'm just fearful. I can't imagine how Jabatis feel about it.
Yeah, I think they're still looking aggressive, but they're looking a little more careful than they were before. It's not quite as reckless as it seemed to be. I think, you know, as you were saying with Newborn, the spacing's starting to get matched a little bit here from Jabatis, and that's what happened in that second game. I feel like they really matched them, and, you know, as we said, Newborn managed to break one through. Oh, a good demo there from Overdrive, just completely denying that goal scoring opportunity. Bloogie there, nice fake, but it was Overdrive who stops it, takes it up to the other side of the field, booms it, but it's going to go far wide back post. Bloogie now trying to find, it's actually going to be Bloogie again in the middle. Some demos happening on the field, the physicality's coming out. Oh look, there's another one!
What's going on? Have I
Everyone's
switched
switching to
channel? This is Demolition Derby going on right now. It's just, no one's allowed to live for 30 seconds or more. It's crazy. Anything could happen with this rate, but no goals scored off the back of it as 3-3-3 goes past. It's still 0-0 here. Spexy attempted to double tap it. Oh my goodness, Blue G with another fake, keeps it alive on the offense, flicks it over to Silvers, not with the greatest touch, jumping on top of each other, desperate to get this ball forward. Silvers off the backboard. One of the low blow double commit there, didn't quite work out. Another chance gone for Jabatis. Back on defense here, Jay Kuziak looking to aerial it away. Don't know if that was communicated, but Silvers has took it off the bumper, pinch to the middle. Jay Kuziak with the 50 again. It's wide. They just cannot buy a goal.
This is absolute crazy. I mean, we just had a really dramatic series 1 and 2, and well, this is certainly living it up right now. I'll tell you, if Jabatis don't take a game off a Newborn, then I'll eat your hat.
Oh no. There's going to be an entire feast for my hat by the time this is done. I don't believe it. But regardless, Jabatis need to change something. They've hit so many shots. Literally, Newborn have not took a shot. They've spent very little time in the offensive half, from the looks of things, at least statistically. And Jabatis has been all over it, but they can't finish. They cannot put anything beyond the Newborn barrier. And whether or not that's just because they're cursed, because I cursed them at some point, I don't know. I wanted a draw. Maybe that's because it's why they're not being able to score at all. Yeah, they did get one in the first. It's not like they've been completely shut out. Not a whitewash. No. Blue G. Well, they scored. Wrong net.
Yep, very unfortunate they are, and it's that initial jump up, it's that initial panic, isn't it, when comms break down and someone goes, I'll go, and it just doesn't work out. These things happen in Rocket League. They happen to me plenty of times. I know how it is. Maybe they can use this now as a bit of motivation to go, right, you know what, we need to just drive even further, 50 even harder, connect these passing plays, find each other in the field, and just find our groove here for the rest of Game 3 and into Game 4. Because of course now they're 1-0 down in the score line, and in the series line, they're 2-0 down. Here's Spexy, and 2-0 down in the score line down as well. Overdrive there with a link-up pass. Nice patience, nice composure, pass off the backboard. Nice read from Spexy as well. Bang that one into the corner. 2-0. Back confidence now going for Newborn. What do you think? Back confidence now.
You spoke it, and thus it was. You said 2-0, and then it was 2-0 suddenly. So I'm not holding out hope for Jabatis. Newborn have been incredible, way better than I would expect from a prospect team. They're playing up to a rival level right now with their chemistry, with their understanding of where they need to be at any particular time. Overdrive's mechanics and decision making, somehow stopping this one in its tracks. Blue Jays cannot get this goal in. Oh my goodness, finally it gets beyond the line, as I think Blue Jay was attempting to save their own shot there. Like, what's going on here? How many times do they have to hit the ball for it to go in? It absolutely ends up being an own goal by Overdrive. Just as I'm praising their ability, they put it in their own net. And as you said, there is a chance. Jabatis, 1 goal away, overtime is possible. Whether or not they can get a goal that's entirely developed from their own offense, hard to say.
Yeah, well, you know, confidence is a huge thing at Prospect. Well, here we go, here's the open. Oh, what a save from Spexy! Just RKO out of nowhere for that save. What the? That was absolutely crazy, just from nowhere. And I mean,
that's teleporting.
The panic, and there's a breakdown of comms again there as well, as I was going to say. But look how aggressive Newborn are. They're just sending cars to the ball, sending cars for the 50s. Jump up, get the touch, keep the possession, keep it off of Jabatis right now. Don't let them get their second goal. Speaking of second goals, Salvatore, this save from Overdrive again. I can't believe my eyes.
hat-trick of saves. Somehow they're keeping it out. This one goes hurtling back down the field. Silvers will be too slow to try and get a chance that's left awkwardly. Spexy gets a back touch. Blue Jay with the free shot. That will be on target.
Oh my goodness.
Make it a brace. I mean, it only took 11 shots, but they've got 2 goals. They've finally dragged it back, kicking and screaming to an overtime potential. Still 12 seconds left to go. No guarantees that this ends, fortunately for Jubatus. Which way is it going to go? A kickoff whiff here by Silvers. That was a mistake, and it's left so much space for overdrive here to the backboard, looking for the double bounces down. They get away with it. Can they keep it away long enough to get that overtime? Do they even want one as Blue Jay picks up the pace here to try and get it forward? Jekuziet with the 50 will find it once more. A double commit to make sure that this one does not go in the red net. First overtime of the series here in Game 3. And is it a doozy?
Well, Jubatus here nearly breaking straight away in overtime from the first kickoff. Silver's really probably wishing they could have done just that little bit more there. All these players on these field aspiring to do that little bit more, be that extra push that their team needs. Bluegate with a massive boomer, forcing a double commit. Can't quite get the pivot shot, but it is quite old. The bump just couldn't quite make it in time as well. And that would have been a guaranteed goal if that bump had made a connection. Gab can't quite get it.
Gotta be in.
Is it? It's 3-2. I can't believe my eyes. There's the game. I knew they would get one game at least. Right, okay. We're on for your prediction, I think, Vector. We're on for your prediction.
Hat-trick for Blue Jay. Before this goal went in, I was just throwing it around in my mind. Jubatus, more so than just being aggressive, they were not reckless. They were consistent in their pushes. They made sure that they weren't just willy-nilly throwing everything at the ball and hoping something would happen. They only threw out the kitchen sink, not the entire kitchen. And it worked out just about in the end, and it took a hat-trick from Blue Jay to get it through. Scored an own goal, and I think that very much unlocked something within him. You said it yourself.
Yep.
That might be just the thing that they needed, something to clear their heads and reset their mentality, and it awakened Blue Jay, no doubt about that. A hat-trick to get them back into this game and hope on the horizon. How are Newborn feeling after this loss?
Yeah, you know, I think if you're Newborn right now, you're thinking, all right, you know what, they got a game, right? We slipped up here, you know, because they were looking pretty confident in this whole actually series that we've watched so far. But you know, I think they maybe got that in their heads now, like, okay, you know, Jubatus is warmed up now. They're ready to try and take this back to a draw, and of course we wanna get that dub, don't we? So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how the physicalities of this game go. I think this is going to be the game that we're going to see a lot of demos again.
Well, we saw quite a few in the last game, only briefly for about 30 seconds to a minute. Maybe that's the effect that Jubatus wanted to instill within Newborn, to be expectant of that, to be fearful of people being over their shoulder, just hunting them down any given moment. May have worked in the short term. Will it work again here on Beckwith Park? Final time tonight. You'll see some RSC action. Shall it be Newborn to take the 3-1 victory, mirror the prediction that Smokey Bear made, or shall it be my prediction, a 2-2? Shall they fight back? Give us a little bit more of the strength that they showed in Sovereign Heights. Only time shall tell here. First 30 seconds, been rather neutral.
Yeah, so far, but just as you say that, Castercus
I need to be
so
muzzled.
Real. Castercus is so real, and this is a perfect example of it here. And this is a lovely, perfect example of a pass and play into the penalty area and smashed into the back corner. And well, there's Jubatus 1-0 up now, and they'll be looking to hold on to this now. It's their first lead in the entire series, if I'm correct.
Well, you're wrong, because they led for the overtime in the last game, but it is in regulation their first lead of the series. Yes, quickly evaporates, however, as a passing play comes across. I don't think that was actually intentional. I think Gav wanted to put that near post, but overdrive was the right place, right time, and they get one back, get us back to an equal game in the first minute. And I'm starting to be worried. I feel like a voodoo doll. I say things and they happen. Not this time, specifically, but another kickoff goal here. And a brace for over drive as well. Great start again for Newborn. They did not just equalize, they took the lead in the first minute.
You know, watching the game so close, as you said, you know, it's quite easy, very much to see what's going on and try and cast what you think is going to actually happen. And
well, something has happened that we maybe didn't expect.
Just about to say that there, actually.
Jay Kuziak briefly left the game. I did see a team chat there from Blue G saying that Jay is lagging and opted to leave the game and rejoin it in order to fix that. Thankfully for their sake, they didn't get scored upon in the power play situation, but I don't know if that's solved it. Hopefully they have, and we can get back to an equal game so that Jay Kuziak isn't lagging. Maybe he's been lagging the entire series. Maybe that's why they've been struggling.
Well, you know, sometimes technical issues happens quite regularly in esports, not even sometimes, and you know, internet can be so undependable sometimes. Gav here, very dependable on that back wall, managing to secure that one away. Overdrive, let's see how he gets on. Is actually with that one. Silver's Relay, an opportunity opening here, tried to go for the fake, good 50 as well, but it is just going to backtrack into the corner. Kuziak now, the collection, set it up in a bit of a dangerous area, and Spexy has smashed it over the crossbar. Overdrive trying the second, Gav jumping up for the third. Only one car back now, and it's Spexy to take on. Oh wait a minute, the bump is just nearly up an own goal there. Now imagine the drama. We've had so much drama tonight. I think there's a little bit more to play for here. These teams are playing for everything. Everyone's just swinging passes into the box, lobbing balls up the other side of the field, as you were saying. Hit that backboard. We're in that desperation stage.
Yeah, definitely. Again, for Jubatis' sake, it's another miss here by Newborn's offense, means he can't take a 2-goal lead. Spexy attempting to, but Silver's back in time. Cut that back out. They're keeping up the pressure well, he says, as they get a 50 straight back out down the field. Midfield line held fast by Spexy. Silver's opts to take time. So risky playing the dribble game in front of your own net. Gets beaten here on the 50. Really got to be careful with that. I don't think jumping was the best option here. Ends up getting beaten out. Overdrive with a hat trick. 3 for 3. Taking this team on their back. And just an incredible performance all around. But somehow Silvers has got a brace off kickoff.
Don't you just love kickoff goals? Don't you just love instant reply? It's like sending a text and you get one right back. And it's in the bottom corner of the net. And just like that, one goal once again separating these two teams. And you know, this last match just could go absolutely anywhere.
I mean, it did last time. It's not a message that Newborn wanted to receive, but received it nonetheless. Back to a 1-goal game now. Still all to play for. Stakes so high. It's going to be 4 because Gav can double tap it off the post and dissuade any thoughts of redemption here for Jubatis. They get one and then they just get one right back. It's like taking 1 step forward and 2 steps back. Or should we say 1 drive forward and 2 drives back for Jubatis' sake. He's off the sideboard we go again. Can Overdrive get 4? Pulls out 2 defenders, but it will be away from the net. That's all that really matters for Jubatis' sake. They get 1 by, but bad positioning by Blue G means that all they can get is a double tap here. It's not going to be far enough forward. And Silvers has to step back for a second. Has time for the 1v1. Going to try and flick it over, but Gav wise to it.
You know, here in the Prospect Division, these are, at the time when I looked on the leaderboard, you know, 1st and 2nd in the league respectively. You know, they're actually playing so well right now and giving it heart, soul, tears, fighting with teeth, claws, everything. And you know, as a player, you know, I really like to see that. I really like to see them just getting in there, getting involved with each other. And you know, there's been a lot of bumps here and there, and just look at how viciously everyone's just going in for 50s and just jumping in, going for aerials. Bloogie and Spexy there going up for that aerial, a duel in the air. Overdrive up to the backboard. Spexy, the save from Silver's Relay, absolutely epic. 30 seconds left now. What can they do with 30 seconds? Can they just hold out? Or can they go in and break a couple of goals into the net? It falls short. Silver's Relay has put it way up over the crossbar, and Gav has boomed it up to the other side of the field.
Oh, painful miss there for Chikuziak. Had all the time in the world to plant it wherever he'd liked. Unfortunately for them, it was on Newborn's crossbar, and all the time possession and victory in the hands of Newborn. It's going to be a 3-1 for the Green Phoenix outfit. They will take first place here if Propel hasn't already in the Ignis Prospect Conference. What a performance from these guys. This is a comfortable mid-table challenger team, and I'm confident saying that they play that well. They understand each other that well. It's not just about their individual ability, but the understanding as a team, what they're able to do together when they're making plays on offense, especially, as we clearly saw from the amount of goals scored. But they did enough on defense as well to rout Jubatus, it felt like, in a lot of situations. They're at the top of the table. Jubatus is not a bad side. They're in a rut of form right now. They're struggling, but they're still very much a threat. Newborn, they declawed them in every which way possible, it felt like. Going back to the bear analogy, shall we say, they pulled out their teeth and they ripped out their claws in this series. And it's unfortunate it didn't go to a draw, but all the congratulations to Newborn, because they earned it without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a stellar performance from them. A really good effort as well from Jubatus here tonight. But, you know, as you said, Newborn just had it going that little bit better. And as being a player in this conference, actually, in this division, I must say it was very impressive to watch these two teams have a duel and just absolutely have a battle and never give up until the very last second. There was a fight right up until that game 4 when that ball dropped, and that is what you love to see. Well done, Newborn.
A wonderful, wonderful series to close out the night. What a crazy one it's been. It started a little bit lackluster with the Master Series, according to the first casters that were there, but then it really ramped up for the middle series. I believe Erebos versus Onka. And I believe that was unfollowable, essentially, with an 8-minute overtime. This one did its best. It was more of a tribute than a follow-up, it felt like. Still a great series, however, and a very pleasurable one for my first alongside you, Smokey Bear. It has been a pleasure and a privilege, and I can't wait for the next time.
Yeah, that's just it. It's been an absolute pleasure to do RSC EU here with you tonight, Vector. I've really enjoyed myself. And yeah, what a great game we got to spectate. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching in the chat as well. And of course, predicting along with us and just having fun. This is what it's all about. This is RSC.
It's so entertaining. Love to see it as closing out. Love to see all the people that make all this happen and the organizations that make this happen as well. Take a moment to thank all our sponsors. We're powered by, as you can see in the top right there, Rule 1, Rickerbrack, Synthesized Design, Pantera Esports, Badass, Gamers Apparel, and Gamers for Cancer, Gamers with Cancer. It's one of the two. I'm right on one of those, I think. But it's wonderful to see so many people, so many organizations making this possible, because we wouldn't have got this Rocket League and this stuff without that. So I'm so glad that we can have those people supporting us, and of course, as you already said, everyone in the chat for watching along at home. We do this all for you, for our wonderful audience. And we hope you've enjoyed the proceedings tonight. This is the final stream of the night, besides the the week, shall I say, besides the RSC Cup draw on Sunday. So stick around for that one in a couple nights' time. But we will be back with some more RSC action next week for week 7 of League play. Good night.
Good night.
inside. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. On we'll go, finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest, echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on